If you thought Las Vegas, Nevada was crazy, just wait till you hear about the Vegas of China. Macau is one of the weirdest places on Earth. It blows Nevada's gambling revenue out of the water and is the most densely populated region on Earth, with 700,000 people in an area half the size of Manhattan. That's 52,000 people per square mile, and they're rich too. If Macau was an independent country, it'd be the fourth wealthiest in the world by GDP per capita. But I still haven't mentioned the weirdest part of all. The people who live here are Chinese people who speak Portuguese. Let me explain how this happened. Macau is just one tiny peninsula at the west end of the Pearl River Delta, one of the most urbanized regions on Earth, home to 90 million people. It's one of two special administrative regions of China, with the other being Hong Kong on the east side of the Delta. And these regions are special because they're arguably the most autonomous regions of the People's Republic, with more globalized economies thanks to centuries of European rule. But whereas Hong Kong became a global center for finance, Macau became the largest casino town in human history. And the reason why is super interesting. You see, South China has long been one of the more globalized parts of the country, and back in the 1500s, when the Portuguese had just learned how to circumnavigate Africa to get to Asia, they really wanted a trading post here to get to Japan. And after about 50 years worth of attempts to take one by force, all of which were repelled by the Chinese Navy, the Portuguese finally rolled back up in 1557 and agreed to pay an annual lease for this small peninsula. And so Macau was born, and for the next few hundred years, it was a prosperous trading port, save for a few Dutch attempts at invasion. Because it was only leased to Portugal, the Chinese Empire would regularly assert their authority over Macau's economy, trade, and courts. That was until the mid-1800s, when the final boss of European colonization, the British, started to get the same idea as Portugal, starting the notorious Opium Wars. Now, I can't explain everything that happened in these wars in this video, but suffice it to say they severely weakened China, starting its century of humiliation in which European powers extorted them and in which Britain took over Hong Kong. This gave Portugal the bright idea to just stop paying rent on Macau, annex additional land to the south, and claim it all as sovereign territory. But now that the bigger, better harbor of Hong Kong was open for business, Macau just couldn't compete on trade anymore. And so in 1847, without trade, a large population, or natural resources to make money from, they decided to take a bet on gambling. You see, casino gambling was and is illegal in the rest of China, making Macau the one place for over 1 billion people to satisfy their vices. And in the later half of the 20th century, as China started to get their swagger back, they started to want Hong Kong and Macau back as well. And so in 1999, after 442 years of Portuguese rule, the territory was finally handed back over to the People's Republic, with assurances that they would get to keep their independent economy for at least the next 50 years. And as China's economy has boomed, so has Macau's, exploding to become one of the largest tourist destinations on Earth, largely thanks to its geography, which hundreds of years ago was far enough away from the Chinese core for it to be tolerated as a foreign port, and now is close enough to China's booming middle class to become the world capital of vice. And because we're still in that 50-year period, Macau has managed to maintain a lot of its Portuguese DNA, for now. Let me know in the comments if you've been here and if you'd like to see a whole video about the Pearl River Delta. Follow for more.